Ghana and the United Kingdom have just signed one of the most significant bilateral economic agreements in recent memory. A deal that goes far beyond the usual diplomatic pleasantries and actually puts hundreds of millions of pounds on the table, with specific projects, specific sectors, and a specific deadline for delivery. This is the story of what was agreed, what it means for Ghana, and why one particular project in Takoradi could reshape the entire maritime economy of West Africa. President John Dramani Mahama traveled to London at the start of June 2026 to open the Ghana-United Kingdom Investment Summit, a two-day gathering that brought together business leaders, institutional investors, policymakers, and development finance institutions from both countries. The summit was organized by the Ghana High Commission in the United Kingdom in collaboration with Invest Africa and the UK-Ghana Chamber of Commerce. And by the time it concluded, the two governments had signed a landmark agreement known as the UK-Ghana Growth Partnership, a roadmap for cooperation running from 2026 to 2028, underpinned by investment deals valued at up to £215 million. Now let us be precise about what this deal actually is. It is not a single check handed from London to Accra. It is a structured framework built around four priority areas. First, attracting private investment and finance into Ghana. Second, improving trade conditions for Ghanaian businesses accessing UK and international markets. Third, supporting infrastructure and industrial development. And fourth, expanding education and skills partnerships between the two countries. Each of those pillars has specific commitments attached to it, and that specificity is what makes this agreement worth examining in detail. Start with the headline project because this one deserves full attention. At the center of the partnership is a £101 million initiative to establish the first commercial-scale ship repair and dry docking facility in the entire Gulf of Guinea. The project is called the Takoradi Floating Dock, also referred to as ShipRite, and it is backed by a consortium that includes the UK co-owned Private Infrastructure Development Group. President Mahama described the project himself during the summit, saying it will create up to 430 direct jobs, with 30% of those positions reserved for women. The significance here extends well beyond the jobs figure. Right now, vessels operating across the Gulf of Guinea, one of Africa's busiest maritime corridors, have no option for major repairs in the region. They must travel to South Africa, to Europe, or to the Middle East. A commercial dry docking facility in Takoradi changes that equation entirely. It means Ghana becomes the maintenance hub for regional shipping, capturing revenue and expertise that has historically flowed out of West Africa. For a country that has been actively developing Takoradi Port as a logistics and industrial anchor, this is a transformational addition. Moving to the climate and environment investments within the partnership. The agreement includes an £85 million reforestation fund. It also includes a £9 million commitment from an organization called Rainforest Builders specifically for forest restoration projects in Ghana's Odi region. These investments are designed to support reforestation, carbon sequestration projects, job creation in rural communities, and land restoration. The Odi region focus is notable given the ecological pressure that area has faced, and the pairing of environmental restoration with local livelihood support reflects the kind of integrated approach that development finance increasingly demands. On technology and innovation, the United Kingdom is committing £6 million to support the implementation of Ghana's artificial intelligence strategy. That is real money directed at a policy Ghana has been developing, and it signals UK interest in being a partner in Ghana's digital transformation rather than just a spectator. Alongside that, 10 new physics partnerships have been funded through UK research and innovation to strengthen university collaboration between the two countries. For Ghana's academic institutions, that kind of structured international research partnership builds long-term capacity in ways that outlast any single government's term in office. The education and healthcare components of the deal are also worth noting. The partnership includes the publication of transnational education guidelines designed to facilitate formal partnerships between UK and Ghanaian universities. This matters because Ghanaian students and institutions have long sought structured pathways into British higher education, and clear regulatory guidelines on both sides make those relationships more durable. There is also a £4 million, 5-year program dedicated specifically to training specialist clinical engineers within Ghana's healthcare sector. Clinical engineers are the professionals who manage and maintain complex medical equipment. It is not a glamorous headline, but it is exactly the kind of technical capacity that determines whether a hospital can actually function at the level it is equipped to. The broader trade context for this agreement is significant. The UK-Ghana Trade Partnership Agreement, which is the formal trade framework between the two countries, is now 5 years old. According to UK government figures, bilateral trade between Ghana and the United Kingdom has grown to approximately £1.6 billion, representing an increase of 12.5% since 2024. That growth provides the foundation from which this new growth partnership is meant to accelerate further progress. British High Commissioner Christian Rogge was direct about what the partnership is intended to deliver. He said it is about real change that people can see and feel. More skilled jobs, stronger ports and transport links, better access to finance, and new opportunities for young people and women across Ghana. That framing matters because it shifts the conversation from the abstraction of diplomatic cooperation to the concrete question of whether ordinary Ghanaians will be better positioned in 2028 than they are today. There are legitimate questions worth holding alongside the enthusiasm. Ghana has signed investment frameworks before, and the gap between agreements on paper and projects in the ground is a gap this country knows well. The Takoradi dry dock project, the AI funding, the reforestation commitments, they each require implementation architecture, procurement processes, and sustained institutional follow-through on both sides. The 2-year timeline to 2028 is ambitious. What the government and its UK partners will need to demonstrate, and demonstrate quickly, is that this partnership moves faster from ceremony to construction than its predecessors. But the substance of what has been announced is real. A £101 million maritime facility that would make Ghana the ship repair capital of the Gulf of Guinea. An £85 million reforestation fund. £6 million for artificial intelligence development, healthcare engineering training, university partnerships. All of it framed within a formal bilateral roadmap with a defined end date and defined priorities. For a government that came to office on a promise of economic transformation, this agreement gives President Mahama a set of concrete, visible projects to point to. For Ghana, the question now is whether the institutions tasked with delivering those projects are ready to move at the speed the moment demands.